What role do virtual assistants play in your daily operations, and how do they help you get more done?
So I think on a daily basis, this video right here is going to be edited by a virtual team member. They're going to create thumbnails for YouTube. They're going to upload to YouTube. They're going to optimize, and they're going to use a tool called Cast Magic and create the storyline for the description in YouTube. They're going to use some other AI prompts to repurpose. They're going to use another tool and cut reels. They're going to also edit and cut their own personal reels. We'll probably make static posts. That's just one thing, right? This one video here is a use case. There's thousands of other use cases, so you have your social media people, your editors, maybe even a social media manager that's doing all your content strategy and posts. Then you can have an executive admin that does, everything that you need done, and like they're kind of orchestrating the business. Then you could have more of somebody that's doing some of your transaction coordination. So that could be, when you get a lead, this is what you do. Real estate agents, I know they'll actually have, instead of outsourcing, when I was selling a lot of real estate, I used a third-party transaction coordinator, and she would handle all the coordination of the file, open escrow, that kind of stuff. Well, now what people are utilizing, some of their team members, is to do the same thing, but have a VA, whether it be in the Philippines or another country, handling that transaction coordination. So that could be another cost savings factor, because the dollar goes very far. Like one American dollar is 58 pesos in the Philippines. So we can pay a good salary, and we can spread our money a little bit further. And it actually helps these solopreneurs, these smaller entrepreneurs, scale up. And now that the world's becoming more global, I think that you're going to see more of this. It's like, look, we all try to live and work together. So I think location isn't going to matter as much anymore. We're seeing the trends now. People want remote businesses. I'm seeing that a lot in the franchise world. What business can I run? So if I'm in Mexico for 2 months with my family, I can still run the business. Nobody knows. I'm on Zoom. I'm doing my thing. I'm recording my podcast. I'm talking to my candidates and so forth. So I think we'll see a lot more of that. So to really circle back, you can get a lot done with a virtual team. And I think the more and more people adopt this, their lives are going to be easier. I work with a very large lending company, and they outsource a lot of their back end underwriting and everything of their files to India. So that's going to continue, and I don't see anything changing in that. So I would highly recommend people get into the virtual team member world and leverage.
How has integrating artificial intelligence, or AI, with your virtual assistant team changed the way you manage tasks or projects?
Oh, completely. I think Bill and I right here are just scratching the surface on things we can do with AI, but already it's helping us create eBooks and content for videos, and it's helping us create SOPs to say, VA team member, here's our game plan. So I think AI, in my opinion, is just as big as when the internet started. We haven't yet felt it yet. We felt it a good amount, but we haven't said this is as big as the internet. But I believe in the next 2 to 3 years, people will realize that it's as big as the internet. And think what the internet has done for all of us. We're able to work from home. We're able to communicate with people around the world. So it's been a game changer. And so I think, like, by leveraging a virtual team member and then leveraging the virtual team member and teaching them the AI strategies, one virtual team member is more like 2 or 3 people now. So you're just constantly leveraging, which means you can have a smaller, leaner team and create. If you are efficient, you can create a lot and put a lot out there. I mean, I'm really excited to see the next 24 months for entrepreneurs right now that are engaged in learning AI. And we'll talk about tools, I'm sure, we have before, but teaching the team members to use the tools that we find that are really good. For example, we use one called gamma.app. It used to take us 2 hours to 3 hours. We can now do in 2 or 3 minutes. So, I mean, that's a game changer. The other day I was playing with InVideo, and I created a video with my voice, but it's a script I uploaded. And then I gave it to my virtual team member, and said, make it better. And it was like amazing video when she finished with it. So that's just a little bit. I mean, there's just a million things you could do.
Can you walk us through a typical day and show us how VAs plus AI help you streamline key areas of your business?
Yeah. So for work stuff, obviously content creation is work stuff. That's how I get people to find me, which is top of funnel. And then the day-to-day stuff, utilizing content that was created and then efficiencies using like tools like Slack, and being able to then, when something happens, when an action happens, have your VA help do something. Because when you're in some sort of sales business, you need leads, right? So you have to go create the leads. So we use AI and VAs for that. And then when the leads come in, we use AI and VAs for that, because now we have to service them. So we're creating, email responses that are usually generated in AI. I mean, we use AI every day, and we use the virtual team members every day. When they're working, they work. When they work, they're integrating with AI. I think I use AI more than probably the virtual team members. But so when we finish a podcast, for example, it goes into something called Cast Magic, and then it creates show notes, and like it can do like 50 other things. So I'm not going into Cast Magic. The virtual team members utilizing that. So I think that's how we really pair it the better. Like I could go into Cast Magic and do what Jeff's doing, but that's Jeff's job. So Jeff does all those things. So now you're taking somebody, if Jeff were to have to transcribe something and then do all these other actions, it would take him 2 or 3 days. Now he can do the same thing in 10 minutes. So it all comes down to leveraging these tools and then teaching your virtual team members via an SOP, which is standard operating procedures, how to make it all flow and work together. And so now, Bill and I used to create the SOPs, but now it's like, well, Jeff can create the SOP. So I think building the right culture and then getting the right team members, they can actually take on the projects themselves, right? And so like, then that frees up more time to work on bigger projects.
What tasks do you prioritize for your virtual assistants, and which do you reserve for AI tools to maximize efficiency?
The task I prioritize the most is video content with AI and the virtual assistants. So the editors edit better than the AI can do. Like I use Opus Pro, and Opus does a great job. But if I want something done the best, I'm still going to use an editor, because their editing is going to be superior than the tool. But when you're trying to do volume and get decent content out, good content, you're not just going to put the crap out. You can use something like Opus. Opus will I can upload a podcast episode and it will cut reels, up to 10 or 15, depending on if you want a 30-second clip. So that's been a game changer, because it would take a virtual team member editor. They can edit only so fast because it takes a lot of time. So if you look at what this AI tool can do, it's significantly faster. So if you can utilize both, that is the way to do it. Just like I talked about earlier, I said I used something called InVideo, and I uploaded a script I wrote. Actually, I didn't write it. ChatGPT did, being transparent. It already has my voice. It then put together a nice video. It was like a minute commercial type of video. And I liked it, but I gave it to Nell, who's an editor, and Nell made it way better. So like you can couple these things together, I think. And so I'm an idea guy. And so I'm not a good writer. I can't spell, but I can prompt AI pretty decently because I know what I want. And that's where I think it really helps somebody like me who would have never been a great writer. I have the bullet points, but I couldn't put it all together. Like Bill's a good writer, great writer. I would never have those skills, but now I could write as well as Bill because of AI, if that makes sense. Because I had the thoughts, I just could not articulate it the right way. And my grammar sucks. I barely graduated high school. At the end of the day, that's how I work the VA and AI together. Then you could break down different tasks, I think, which would be, transaction coordination if you're a real estate agent, depending on the leads or what you're doing within. Some people have home service businesses. So their virtual team member might be using AI to write ads to get people to buy or call them so they rank in Google search. So you can put this all together. It just really depends on what you're doing and your goals of why you're using the AI and the VA.
Okay, so last, for entrepreneurs considering virtual assistants, what advice do you have on getting started and making the most of AI-powered productivity?
One is just get started and start doing it. It's gonna be a little bit foreign in the beginning, but I think once you start playing around with all the tools, I would find tools that you can use. There's a lot of tools and everything, but I think what I found is like keep it simple and use it. And once you start using a tool, if you like it, just keep using it, and then test tools. So at first Beautiful AI. I started utilizing Beautiful.ai, but then I found Gamma through some word of mouth. And then I used Gamma, and Gamma's way better than Beautiful.ai. Now, will Beautiful.ai be better at some point? Maybe. So I do spend money to try tools, and I think everybody should do the same thing because you'll find tools that are a lot more useful for you. But I would say that's where you're going to have a little bit of cost for all these tools, but they're worth it. If you're actively using these tools every day, the money's minuscule. So get out there and make content, figure out what you need with VAs and AI. And it's not all about content. It's just I use a lot that's one of my biggest things that I do daily to generate inquiries. But even if you're not using it for content creation, you could be utilizing it for any part of your business. So just the sky's really the limit. So I would highly recommend figuring out what you need in your business. And then we have an ebook. We can put the link in this right here. It's called Biz Scaling Playbook.com. You can use that. You can check out some prompts. Take those prompts, put them in ChatGPT, and it'll blow your mind. And that's just like barely scratching the surface. I mean, that's just the amazing thing of all of this. It hasn't even really exploded yet.
Are you feeling overwhelmed, like you're not getting enough content out there, you're not driving enough leads, not growing your business the way you want to? Well, I put together an ebook all about utilizing virtual team members and AI together to really grow your business, get more organic content out there. If that all sounds appealing and you want a free copy of my ebook with the tools I use, some prompts, and how I put it all together with virtual team members, you can go to bizscalingplaybook.com, grab a copy. It's an evergreen book. We're going to be adding different tools, different prompts as we continue to bolt them into our business. So anyways, it's free for right now. So go to bizscalingplaybook.com, download your copy. Hope you like it. Hey guys, Bo Eckstein here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe to this channel. We talk all things financing. I've been in the lending industry for over 20 years, and I'm happy to answer your questions and provide great content.